We're live. Hello, everyone. How are you
Hello.
today? Hi, hey, Kerrie.
You're
I
back
am
in
not.
your who's.
I am at the in the studios at the Cooper Smith Koch Global Headquarters for World Domination and Crafting. That's where I am.
World
I'm not.
domination and crafting.
I have not seen you in weeks.
I know.
Our internet was just such a shit show while we were gone. That
I watched some
but
of
it
them,
is.
and yeah, some of times it was glitchy, but yeah.
Oh my God, the glitchiness. And the hardest part was not knowing if y'all could still hear me and you just couldn't see me. And then I'm like, okay, do I keep talking? Do I stop talking? Do I cuss it out and they can hear it or not hear it? Like, I wasn't sure. So, anyway, we're all good now. We're all good
Yay.
now. Yes. Yeah. So,
I'm
good
gonna
to
open
see
up the
you.
feed. Good to see you too, so I can see questions.
Yeah. My mama says hi.
Hey,
Hi,
Cooper's
mama.
mom. Look, every time I
He-
click on this, even though I have my sound turned off on my computer, it always seems to come up. Okay, now it's good. I did it right.
Oh, yay.
Hi,
I can't
Cheryl.
figure it out. And I do this. My parents are Daryl and Cheryl. I don't know if you knew that.
here's my
Daryl and Cheryl.
here's my
Brother
mother
Daryl,
Cheryl and
brother, my daddy Daryl, my other
my
daddy
daddy
Daryl,
Daryl,
my other
my
daddy.
other brother Daryl. New Heart. Who watched that show?
I
Who?
loved it. Oh, everybody. It was
God,
like
I loved it.
the biggest show.
It was
And
great.
nowadays, if they did that show, it would be like so boring by comparing to everything else because it wasn't salacious or anything like
No,
that.
it
And
was just
I
very
would be
what?
welcome. It was very what I think of as CBS of the day, like just very kind
Yes. Was that
of chill.
CBS back then?
I don't know actually.
Yeah, okay. It might have been. It might have been.
So I'm a little sniffly today, and also I have a raging headache right behind. So I am chugging water at the moment. I'm laying off the wine at the moment. So
Gotta be
last night,
something in the air.
something in the air, and also I didn't sleep well last night because at 2:30 in the morning. So for those of you who don't know where I live in an area of Dallas that is well known for its gigantic, gorgeous pecan trees.
Yes.
They're like 50 feet tall. The canopy, everything is shaded, a little shady also, but everything is shaded and it's gorgeous. But the problem with pecan trees is pecan trees will just decide to prune themselves out of the blue, like just out of the blue.
They're like,
And
we're
I'm
out of
not
here.
talking little branches. I'm talking whole like gargantuan
Yes.
sections of trees. So we have become very accustomed to the sound of a tree that's about to do some business. You start hearing, and it's sort of like in like a scary movie when they're on a piece of glass and you can kind of hear the glass starting to crackle and you know the impending doom that's about to happen. So that's like it with these trees. So at 2:30 in the morning, I don't know if it woke me up or if I was already just kind of awake or whatever. I start hearing that, and you don't know where it's coming from.
You're like, is it going to be big? Is it going to be little?
And it's always big, especially when it's making that noise. It's
Yeah.
always big, and so you start hearing, and then boom, just this huge crash, and it's so big you don't know where it's coming from. It woke Todd up also, and so we go to the windows, we look around, and it's dark. Fortunately, it fell in the street. It was a tree that is right on the edge, across the street from our house, between the tennis courts and our house. There's a tree, and it's an old tree. It's been there for probably 100 years old, if not older. The entire branch over the street just collapsed to the street. So that was that. So then at that point, you've got your adrenaline going, and you're awake.
Yeah, you're like, shit.
I barely slept. I know, I barely slept, and then so anyway. That was so I'm sleepy. I have allergies. I'm not drinking at the moment. I'm congested, so I'm just a wreck right now.
You sure it's not the COVID?
The thing I know, Claire. Oh my God, Claire's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" I've had my temperature checked so many fucking times today to make sure. So I'm not having any trouble breathing. Just congestion here. The headache though. The headache is like a pinpoint right there. But the things I did for y'all. I'm faking it until I make it at this point. And as soon as we hit off, I'm going to lay back down.
Like, I'm out of here.
And Aaron wants us to pause the show.
Yeah.
We're going into Catherine's Landing right now. Catherine's Landing is the place that we stayed outside of Hot Springs.
Hot
for the
Springs,
week.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Where you
wonderful
took that really
park.
pretty picture?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
All the pictures. It's such a pretty park. So, yay! And Eric wants Kyle to, or Eric wants Aaron. That's hard to say. To do his own Facebook Live soon.
Yes.
He's gonna come on too because he's one of my RV proteges.
Nice.
We started talking about RVing, and he and his husband and I guess his in-laws bought an RV together, and they're touring all over the place. So
lots of people are doing it. So you guys will. The kids are going back to school, so then you won't have a break till what? September, October?
I erroneously said. So they were supposed to start this past Monday.
Yeah.
They are going to school on this coming Monday. So we lost a week. So they took the week away at the end of September. So because we had all these five different built-in weeks. So our next actual break is Thanksgiving for 2 weeks. We get 2 weeks off. But we have a long weekend, I think, for Labor Day, and I think Columbus Day is in there too, or something. And is it Labor Day? Labor Day, yeah, that's the one in September. So
at the beginning, end of this month, right? Beginning of next month, yeah. So 3 weeks.
Aaron is saying they're making us check in inside. Here's where we get the COVID. Luckily, they're real strict about wearing masks in there, so at least there's that. And so I don't know. That's the weird thing is that people are either hard on or hard off.
Yeah.
COVID thing.
Apparently, they had the whole Sturgis rally, hundreds of thousands of people.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, we were really close to. I know we were really close to Sturgis when we went to Mount Rushmore because it's just around the bend, and there's this little town that we made a right turn, and to go to the bathroom and maybe see if we could find a drive-through or something. We ended up in this town called Keystone, which is immediately next to it. Keystone, not a fucking masks in sight. There was a Trump store there, by the way. There was it was it reminded me of going to Myrtle Beach or some really trashy beach town where it's just t-shirt shops and Bubba Gump shrimp places and Galveston or something like that. It was awful. Not a single mask in sight. We went into a Subway to grab something to eat. People everywhere. We all just kind of went to the bathroom and left. I mean, it was the kids were freaked out. All of it. We were like, that's where we're going to get the bid right there.
Well, I was reading an article today about people. They were quoting some people at Sturgis, and one guy's comment was like, "I just love it. It's like a throwback to what America used to be. Everyone here loves God, their country, and our president." And I was like, "Oh, Christ almighty."
I don't know if you heard me say the other day when we were driving back outside of Nashville, we stopped at McDonald's to get breakfast. And McDonald's is all to go right now. You walk in, order, and get away from people, and then they hand it to you and you walk out. All the restaurants are closed. And so we went there to get our Egg McMuffin meals because that's the Breakfast of Champions.
Yep.
And as I'm walking in, there's a man walking out. And no, he's parking. And a woman is walking out, and the man parking yells at the woman, "Are they making us wear masks in there?" And she's like, "Yes, you have to wear a mask." And he goes, "I can't wait to get our country back." I'm like, what does that even first of all, what's that fucking mean? What's that mean? Two, we can get it fucking back if you just put a damn mask on, and then we can just get it over with and go back to not wearing them again.
Yeah, let's look at other countries that have gotten their shit together.
I know. Well, and they act like these things are going to be permanent in our society if we keep wearing them. I'm like, well, we've done this before, like 1918, the Spanish flu. Yeah. We had to wear masks for a good 6 months or whatever the timing was. And then we didn't lose any civil liberties over it that I know of, at least.
Yeah.
I wasn't born with a mask on, so.
People get so upset. And
yes.
I'm living a high rise, so I'm just used to it, wear it all the time, but I would just wear it anyway. And I mean, even it's freaking 103 today. I'm a face sweater. I'm still going to wear it. If I were to go out, I'm still wearing it when I walk through the lobby to walk Frankie. And so, yeah, it's just do it.
Yeah. Luke asked if we have any thoughts on the presumptive Democratic nominee. And then my brother-in-law says Biden probably can't remember her name. Well, the other one can't pronounce the name of the park that he is actually talking about in his speech, Yosemite. So we're not going to get into old white men.
Or Thailand. He said Thailand the other day.
Thailand too, yes. We're not going to get into old white men with their mental cognitive issues right here. Let's just assume they're both old white people, old men. So anyway, so I'm excited about her though.
My thoughts are I knew he'd pick her. She checks a lot of boxes, so we'll see if it's enough to get some of those boxes that she checks to get those people riled up. I know I can't remember. I have to go back and do my research, but I remember when she was running, that there were some controversial things that happened, and she, I think, did she make the trans group upset about some things that she said?
No. So what? I think that the main thing is that when she was Attorney General of California, one of her big things is that she was very hardcore on prosecuting like low-level drug crimes, which tend to hit the Black community more than other communities. So a lot of dime bag kind of stuff, that sort of thing. And so some people. So by the way, all of my Black friends are over the moon about this. They're all fine with it. And there's occasionally you see sprinklings in their comments about, but she was bad to the Blacks back then. It's like, I don't know how to answer that question. My other thing on that though is if you're the prosecutor. This is, again, McAllen High School Civics, so I'm not sure I know everything here. This is also news-ish, folks. Keep that in mind. If you're the prosecutor, you don't make the law. You are just charged with enforcing it, right? And so if the law was, if you were found in possession of over an ounce of cocaine, marijuana, whatever it is, I don't even know if it's ounce how they measure it. I'm not sure. But grams. Yeah.
Ounce is a lot of coke.
I want the gallon.
Tablespoon, whatever. Whatever you do with it.
But so if like I think she's required to charge them. Like she can't let them off the hook if they were found with it and it's proven and all of this kind of stuff. So that's where it gets kind of weird to me. Also, that was a while back, and I think America's attitudes towards recreational drug use has changed significantly in the past 5 years. Yeah. Well,
is it next week that the Democratic debate next week?
I don't know.
Right. Anyway,
I literally don't know shit.
I just want to see her. I just want to see how feisty she gets. It's going to be interesting.
Oh, her against Pence is going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. I am seeing some comments which I don't like. I find them very misogynistic. People are saying, she's a little much, or she's really, really out there, or she's aggressive, or she's whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's all code words for not acting like we think a woman should act.
Exactly. Yeah, my friend Pam, she was telling me today that some people.
I'm sure you get that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because my favorite quote is, well-behaved women rarely make history. So
yeah, I love it.
I'm like, hey, but Pam was telling me some people on her Facebook, that are claimed to be, Christian people are, already making comments about she slept her way to the top. And I'm like, and these are women. I'm like, as a woman, why would you ever do that?
Why tear each other down? And first of all, how would they know?
Yeah.
Like,
were you there?
Seriously. It's sort of like when people ask me, is so and so gay? I'm like, I don't know, and I don't assume anything about anyone unless he has told me he is gay or I have seen him with a dick in his mouth. I am not going to assume that anyone is gay. And even then, it might have just been a drunken stupor. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I was looking into it yesterday because it looked like, I think she's been married once, and it's been within the last, I can't remember how many years, but it looks like she was a career woman and didn't get married till later in life,
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking, well, how did she sleep her way to the top? I mean, would it matter if she was...
And the top of what?
Exactly.
Like what you become attorney general by winning an election. Did she fuck everybody in California to get voted, or at least 51% of them? Like,
right.
How does that work? And same with being a senator. I mean, do you? You're elected. Like, how many? I don't
Yeah.
understand that whole thing either.
Yeah. Who would you be sleeping with? The entire state?
Who are you sleeping with? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we can do the math. If you need to get 51% of the vote and 50% of the population is female, 50 is male, let's just say that. So you got to sleep with 25% of the people to get their votes.
Yeah.
If she has the stamina for that, I want her to be president.
She really is a woman on top.
Oh, a woman on
Man.
top, on bottom, on side, you know. So Sarah is saying if I had to go to a Walmart in College Station this weekend, and if someone had a mask on, it said Trump 2020. Yeah, well, to that though, at least they're wearing a fucking mask. Like for a while there was no if it was someone who would have worn something that says Trump 2020, they probably were not wanting to wear a mask. So at least there's that. That's I'm gonna look at that as the silver lining. At least they're wearing a mask and we're not spreading stuff around. So
yeah.
And by the way, Luke says the convention is next week, I guess.
Convention, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at Eric's comment about the woman at Sturgis with the Trump body paint. It's just as classy as it sounds.
Have you seen it? So she is this large woman with big pendulous breasts, and she has got Mount Rushmore. If this is the same one, I assume it's the same one that Eric's talking about. She's got Mount Rushmore painted across her tits with Trump's face on the prominently on her left
on the left titty.
On the left titty. And Mount Rushmore there, and then it's on her belly section. It says something like "I love Trump" or something like that. Like it is, and she's sitting at no masks on, no space in, and they're in like a biker bar or something like that. I was like, wow.
I gotta do this.
I don't know how much does body paint cost, like, and how long did that take?
I don't know.
That's the thing. It was very detailed. So I mean. Kudos to the artist. Kudos to the artist who did that. I mean, I hate that he had to do it on that canvas, but oh my gosh.
I can't find it.
The one. That's the one. He said that's the one.
Okay, I'll have to look for it later.
Yes. And he also said she's not just a woman, but a woman of color. So the next thing you'll hear is angry black woman.
Yeah,
I saw that they're starting to question her blackness. Is she legally black?
She's half Jamaican and half Indian. Her mother was.
Yes, exactly. So, but here's my thing: is so now she's not black enough. Like I don't understand. Like what's the? I don't get it. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that anymore. I don't want to talk about that anymore. By the way, do you have a thing? Total change of subject here, folks.
Yeah.
That was the political portion of this discussion.
The more you know. Bum, 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 bum.
And keep in mind, this is news-ish. Do not rely on the Cooper and Kerrie show.
News-ish, op-ed.
Yes, op-ed heavy, and do not rely upon us for concrete facts. Like, go check them yourself. So, but total change of subject. Do you go in waves where you like fall in love with a pen and then it's the only pen you want to use, and then you find a new one and then you're like, oh yeah. So normally my pens that I like are these Precise V7 RT from Pilot. Pilot is usually my go-to pen, right? Love them to death. And I'll write with this one and I'll change out, and I don't like them to be extra fine. I like them to just be sort of fine so that they're kind of inky still.
Yes.
And it forces me to write more neatly as well, I think. So I'll be obsessed with this. And then I'll randomly pick up a pen. And this is the one I picked up. And this is, I don't even know where this fucking pen came from. A Papermate Flare. This is an old school.
Those are great.
It's got like a felt tip on it or something.
Yeah, they're drawing. They use them in architecture offices.
Yeah, and now exactly. I don't know why the hell I own this. Where did this come from? Who's been in my house?
We have those at work too.
I bet. And so now I'm like, this is the only pen I want to write with. All the rest of them can go away. And then I had this other little cheap gimme. This was from when we stayed at the Four Seasons in Santa Barbara. It's literally just a little cheap ballpoint pen, super thin. I fall in love with this one sometimes too. And I'm like, this is literally a free pen. Like this was, if you took it out of the room, they put two more in the room. So
I have some favorites. I go in phases by I go for long stretches. So this is a Pentel. This is not actually my favorite, but I like gel writers because I write fast. So I need the fatter tip. So I need the 1 point, whatever. I can't do the fine tip, extra fine, can't do that. So this is the wrong one, but Pentel makes
too much.
Huh?
The fine ones drag too much.
Yeah, they drag and they're scratchy. I can't have the scratchy.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
So there's a gel writer that they make that I love, but right now my pen of choice is the Sharpie.
Oh.
It's actually the ultra fine point, but it's enough ink that comes out, obviously. It's perfect.
Look at mine. I have this. I love the Sharpie with the double-headed Sharpie.
Yeah, I do these guys. I've got red and blue at my desk. I usually like blue instead of black.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my jam. If I don't have a gel writer, that's what I use, or the flare that you have. But the flare's a little bit too thick for me.
Black, light
you got a
blue,
Mickey cup. Look,
red,
I got a Starbucks Chicago cup.
Green, purple. I got all the colors. Oh, Mickey is happy on this side and like what the
Shocked
fuck
on that. This is my Starbucks collector Chicago cup. I love it.
Oh, that's cute.
I keep my hand lotion in there, my highlighters.
This is compelling television today.
Desk essentials, man.
It is. Well, actually, my mom is saying I have a pen fetish.
I do too, Cheryl.
I do too. I love flares. Sandy
Flares
says,
are great.
Me too.
I got a whole pen drawer in my kitchen in there, and but it's funny. I always go back to the same ones, but I love having all the colors. I'm the girl that buys the assorted pack with the 24.
Yes, me too. And anytime, like if there's a Black Friday sale or clearance sale or anything, the Sharpies are on the sale table, I buy them.
Yes.
We have some. Well, the other thing is, I had to finally put a piece of tape around one downstairs with a word on it that said "Cooper's pen, do not use," because what I did with a Sharpie and another pen, and I have a pair of scissors also down in the kitchen drawer because I got kids and a husband who I'm not choking up about this. I'm literally just had too much water, and I'm like, oh. Our fucking pen drawer has no pens in it, or everyone has that drawer that's got the scissors and the pens and stuff. Ours, everything it just walks away. It just walks away. I bet I look in my kids' room. I could look under the bed or something, and there's probably a bazillion. Yes, and they're not supposed to be using permanent markers either. That's the other thing
in the house.
Because you know what? When children use permanent markers, nothing good.
Everywhere. Yeah, nothing. Yes. Are you the kind of person too? Like if you'll be writing, you've seen people like, oh, my pen went out, and they just throw it away and grab whatever's closest. I have a little memoriam with my pen. I'm like, oh, are you done? Did you give it up?
I couldn't tell you the last time
I'm like, you got
long enough to run out. Like
I do that, and it runs out, and I say a little, thanks, man. And then
it's like a little Marie Kondo, little Kamari. Thank you for your service.
Oh, you gave her all. You gave her all.
Yeah,
cap on, throw it away.
I know. No, because I don't keep pens in my possession because of the other humans, oxygen-breathing organisms in my house that steal my pens and get rid of them. I don't know. I couldn't tell you the last time I used a pen till the end of it. That is how I'm gonna know that I am an empty nester, I think.
You're gonna have a shit ton of pens.
I'm gonna have a shit ton of pens, and I'm gonna actually hold one, and it's gonna run out of ink, and I'm gonna I finally made it. Finally made it. Kids are out of the house.
Like we made it. You're with your pen singing to it.
I know.
I go through pens, and I'm weird. I don't like I'll have a thing of them, but okay, this is obsessive now. I usually keep the Sharpies down like this because it works better if you keep them down, because that's why they have color tips, people, so you know what color you're grabbing because they dry out if you do them like this. But I keep
mine though with the fine end down because that's the side that dries out the fastest. That's what I do.
But I like to use the same one. This is probably why I get to the end of the one and you don't, because I like to use the same one till it's gone. I don't like to go, even though I have lots in the cup, I don't like to go and grab. I keep this one out on my desk until I run through it, and then I grab a new one out of the cup. So
do you chew on them also?
No, I've never chewed a pen.
I couldn't tell.
I play with them like this, but I pop caps while I'm on the phone, on silent. But I don't.
I'll do.
Yeah,
I do that a lot. I will. That's why I also generally prefer a clicker pen, also because there's something to fiddle with. I have someone who works with me who is a pen chewer. She's probably watching. I don't know if she'll catch it on the repeat. If not, she chews pens. and it is the grossest thing ever. And I make fun of her straight up about it. So this is nothing new. Like she'll be like, "Hey, will you look at this?" I'm like, "I'm not going anywhere near that pen."
Yeah, I'm not touching that pen.
Ah! Like I'm talking like just like full on like.
You know what'll break you of that? Working with executives because they never have a pen and you always need to hand them your pen.
Yes.
You won't never hand them a chewy pen, I promise you.
I make sure she uses just the Bics.
Just the little shit pens. The white outside and the
I'm not investing in Pilot for you.
The ones that prisoners use to make tattoos. Yeah, there you go. The big pen. See, Eric's my guy. He uses the Sharpie Ultra Fine Point like me, Eric.
Yeah.
And I love the whole color series when you get them.
Yeah. And Sandy's true story. My son has grown and I have pens and markers everywhere. Oh, that sounds like heaven.
Give me the land where
I have goals. I have goals.
Can't wait.
Crystal Howard is asking, who besides me is turning all her Sharpies upside down right now? That is the lesson of the day.
That's why they color the tip
down.
Because you're supposed to put them down. Yeah.
What about the ones that are like, let me see. I'm sure I have some that aren't.
Just the big ones? Yeah. I don't know. I always store mine down because they'll dry out if not.
I always buy the double-sided ones though, so I can write with them.
I don't ever do that because inevitably one side gives out over the other.
Yeah.
Inevitably.
Well, I am a Post-it note person. I like write with Post-it notes, and I write real big on them. And I actually have, you can't see it from here, but I have a wall. I have a whiteboard, and it has category to do, doing, done.
Yes.
And it's kind of like my old school Trello or something.
Yes.
Trello is the project management
system.
Trello
board. Yep, we use it.
Yeah, I will write on it, and I put one thing on each Post-it note, and the to-do section is long, and then the doing section is only like 2 or 3 things in it, and then done. I keep them on there for like a week, so I have a sense of accomplishment.
Yes, I'm a to-do list. I'm a list person. Every day I've got to go through, make my list, and the next day I move over what I did. And I also love, we have these great little at work, these grid little note cards.
Yeah,
I love the hell out of these.
I buy just these big note cards. They're like 4x8 or 6x8 or something, and I'll write real big at the top the date and then the things to be.
I'm looking because I'm going to tell on myself because you're going to laugh.
I haven't done it today because I did a little bit of work this morning, and then I made lunch, and then I went and laid down. Oh my God.
So I got these at the beginning of COVID because I had thoughts and stuff, not work related, but other things. And I was going to collage my wall over here, but I haven't done it yet. But I have to have the square
like
fatties.
$85 worth of Post-it notes.
Oh, actually, they're not bad. I have the fatties, and then I have to have the longer, just the squares, and then the babies too.
I mainly use the striped ones.
Yes.
Just the regular ones.
For anyone asking,
I also use a lot of colored note cards.
For anyone asking, this is the Cape Town collection. These are the Cape Town colors. Also very close. These are the Rio de Janeiro. So they're very close, but I wanted them all to match. They make color families and Post-it, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Rio de Janeiro, Cape Town. So yeah, I'm a little bit of an addict. Just a little.
Wow. Speaking of addicts, one of the things that I can always count on you this time of the year is to be addicted to, obsessed with, proselytizing, evangelizing, whatever the word is, the Nordstrom sale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
they should make me an influencer because I'm one of these girls that freaks out about this sale.
I would never even was a Nordstrom shopper until you came into my life, and now I'm like, oh, I got some notes. I got my little bonus note in the mail, all that kind of stuff. And I don't think my shopping day is until Friday.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, mine was this past Monday.
You already got it, and you filled your cart up and then bought, and some of your shit sold out, and you still ended up with like $1,200 worth of stuff. Isn't that right?
So you go in and you build your wish list because you get to see the preview. You just can't buy, and you wait because I'm the middle level. There's 5 levels. I'm level 3. The people that are level 5 get to have the first, and then there's the next, and then there's me, and then the other 2. They released it.
I think I'm the second to bottom. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not steerage, but I'm like 3rd class.
You might want to check. Yours might be tomorrow. Might be tomorrow.
What is today?
But I went in.
Oh, it is the 13th. The 13th is tomorrow.
Yours is tomorrow. Yes. Yeah. It'll be 8:30 in the morning. But you build your list and you sit there in your wish list. But as your wish list is sitting there and you're waiting, it will tell you as things have sold out. But you just keep it in there because if they restock, you can go back in. But so by the time my day came, 6 things were gone, unfortunately. But nothing. There were a couple of key pieces I really wanted, and I got those. But it does sound like a ton of money. And it is, but the thing is, you just get it all, and then you get it all here, and you try it all on, and inevitably half of it's not going to work, and you just take it back to Nordstrom. But in the meantime, you've got your notes, so go spend your notes on something. Yeah. And get those notes, and then take your shit back because they'll take stuff back for like 3 months. So, and it's funny, I got no work clothes, I got no work pants, no work blouses. I got a couple of nice coats for the winter, not heavy coats, but I got a classic Ralph Lauren coat and a Kenneth Cole coat. And then I got jeans, Spanx leggings, pajamas, and I got
I know you talk about the Spanx leggings.
Oh my God, that's the time to get them. It's the only time they're that deeply discounted is on the Nordstrom sale. And then I got, for my first time ever, Barefoot Dreams is a brand that makes these ultra soft cardigans and blankets and pajama sets. The pajama set sold out, but I got 2 cardigans coming from Barefoot Dreams. So I'm going to see if I like them. But people swear by them and tell me they're amazing.
And they source their stuff from stores, right? And so you'll get packages from all over the place.
You will, or if the warehouse. They have a warehouse too.
Do they? Okay, because every time I order something from Nordstrom, it seems to come from like a store.
Yeah. But and here's my biggest tip, because you can order and do curbside, or you can order and have it shipped. Last year I did curbside. It was my second year doing the sale. Don't ever fucking do that again, because you're relying on them to pull the quantity from what's in stock at the store. Last year they were 4 days lag time. So by the time they went to pull my stuff, most of it wasn't there. So if you order online, you're still going to get it about the same amount of time. Yeah. And they're going to have access to more stock if you just order it online and have it shipped.
Yeah. And they don't want to piss you off if it's ordered online. So
yeah. So, and if something falls through and they don't have it, they'll send you an email saying, "I'm so
What have
sorry."
you gotten? So you got those clothes and stuff. What was the thing I saw you post on your Instagram earlier? The kind of Koontz looking.
I got those off of the Nordstrom Rack app. Yeah, there's a really cute. What was the name of the?
And does the app have different prices than the website, or different?
No, so that was Nordstrom Rack app. So there's the Nordstroms and then the Nordstrom Rack. The anniversary sale is Nordstrom, and then I'm always shopping the Rack because they are always doing sales. But they have these cool little set of 6 ornaments that look like the Jeff Koons mini little dogs.
Those little dog ones. Which I had normally my phone cover has that on it. So
yeah. Interior Illusion was a house brand that's
they're Christmas ornaments, right?
They're Christmas ornaments, but they make all this other stuff under that same
already buying Christmas ornaments. I love it.
I know. They're so cute. There's 6 of them.
How much was the 6 of them?
I think it was, I can't remember. I put it on my gram. Let me go see. I think it was like 30 or 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it was 6 of them. Yeah, they were on sale. All this Interior Illusions.
So was it on sale? Is it the price is marked, or is it then there's also always like 30% off? Or
that's only if they're doing a clear the rack. That's only, yeah, if they're doing a clear. Oh, so they're Interior Illusions holiday. I got it right here. If it'll come up, and I'll put it in the feed. Oh, sorry. It was $49.97 down from $73.50.
Okay.
But they're super cute. A little, there's like pink and aqua.
Really cute. I've been getting a lot of ads for Nordstrom Rack for like this bulldog that's covered in paint that's peeing on.
That's one of the Interior Illusions. Yeah.
I mean, that is showing up on my Instagram feed constantly right now.
It's probably because we're friends, and I was in there looking at all that stuff. Probably. Yeah. So I just painted them. It looks like the little Jeff Koons dogs. Yeah. And they have the little dogs as piggy banks, and then there's those dogs that are all splattered in paint. But that company, Interior Illusions, their stuff is really modern and contemporary, and all of it's on sale right now on the Nordstrom Rack app.
Are they just totally ripping off the other designers?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sandy wants to know where you get your Post-its.
Amazon. These are the 1x7/8.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, there's glare. And then these are the 3" by 5", which I love because they're kind of long. And these are my favorite, the square with the 4x4s.
The 3x5. Oh, I use those a lot.
I know. And then this is a taller version of that.
The 3x5 ones, what side are they sticky on?
What do you mean?
Like, is the stripe on the long side or the shorter side?
I see what you're saying. I think it's the longer side. I'm not sure.
They're wide, so they present or landscape when you have them.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, landscape. 3-inch.
This is not at all what I thought we were going to be talking about today, but I know it is what it is.
I got some. Oh, because you're always talking about my blister. Here's something I'll share. My friend Sandy told me about this foot glide.
Foot glide.
So I ordered that. I'm still having my blister issue, but once I get it healed up, I'm going to use this with
So
my
you
new
just-
pair of shoes.
Do you just put that over the spot where you would normally get a blister, and it just kind of
you put it on your heels
and
and your shoes, so it's supposed to.
You probably do it like on your toes and stuff.
It's
like Vaseline?
anti-chafe. Huh?
It's like Vaseline.
I don't know. It feels like it's like a chafing. It just feels like
Because Vaseline has a stick now too.
Yeah, I have one of their sticks. Yeah, they're moisturizing, but no, this is more dry.
We got the moisturizing stick at the Oprah thing together. That's why we have that. Okay, yes.
Because I tried to find it on Amazon and they didn't have it. So yeah.
That's an Oprah exclusive.
You know where else I'm shopping these days?
Where?
Etsy.
Really?
Etsy is where it's at. Look at this cute little freaking cup with the Louis. All these women with these crickets, these cry cut machines. Look at her. And then look, she personalized. This lady's out of Garland. She put Food Sparks on there for me.
Oh, fun.
She's out of Garland. It's called Counting Cups on Etsy.
That's so cute.
I have another one coming that's just a drink tumbler like a Yeti. And it's brown gold glitter with the Louis, the same pattern in gold.
Really fun.
You can find all kinds of stuff on there.
She shops Etsy. I always go to Etsy only for things that I'm like, okay, I know this is going to be homemade or custom. Like I ordered from Etsy recently for our game room or our family room, the round table. I wanted a green felt cover for playing games on, so that when you toss dice, they go all over the place, right? With a pad. And I was like, okay, that's something that has to be custom made. No, so Etsy for sure. But I never thought about just like random shit like that.
Well, I'm sure you've seen on TikTok how many people are making the thermoses and the tumblers. Apparently, it is a legit business.
Really?
And this chick, here, I'll post her Etsy counting cups.
Condre also loves Etsy, and my sister said there's lots of cute Disney cards on there.
Yes, in fact, I'm not going to give too much away, but I already bought your Christmas present.
Yay!
Because I saw it and I was like, oh, okay. And they were out. They were out.
Really?
And I messaged the lady. She goes, I'll have a couple more and I'll have more in a few days. And then she messaged me. She's like, I'll message you. And she did. That's what I love about Etsy. The people are so appreciative.
They're actually small, crafty, small business kind of people. All that. Oh, fun.
Yeah, they're making. I just posted her. They make the Starbucks cups with the straws. They make all that stuff. It's great.
Cool. I was already actually earlier today thinking about when we're going to put up the reindeer. We're going to have our reindeer erection. That's what we call it for those of you who aren't aware.
We have to have that.
Our 30-foot reindeer in the front yard. I think it's actually only 18 feet, but still.
The chili was so good last year. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, so that you know that chili recipe I made. That was just straight the little seasoning mix and the recipe on the McCormick recipe on the bag. Like that's what that was. I didn't church it up or anything because everyone's like, oh, you need to make like a gourmet. And so like my new chili go-to is the Defined Dishes chili, but I'm not making that for 50 people, 100 people. That's like $400 worth of chili.
Yeah, $400. No, I liked your big bags of shredded cheese and your sour cream. I was all about it.
Yeah,
I was all about it. Oh, Sandy look, she posted you a mask holder. Cooper.
I have to look. I can't click the links.
Oh, that's right.
It's
a mask holder.
It pulls me out of this screen, and then God knows my technological ability.
Says, "Don't tell your secrets." That's funny.
Here,
I'll post one more thing. These are Chloe knockoffs on Amazon for $14.
Cute.
Courtney Kerr talks about them all the time, and finally, I was like, "I'm springing for these." She's like, "I got 4 pair," and everybody thinks I'm wearing Chloe's. But they're like big Jackie O fuck off black sunglasses.
I love them.
I'll post these as well.
We have our. No, I'm not wearing it today, but like the Rolly looking wristband for the Apple Watch too that Courtney Kerr turned us on to.
Oh, I love mine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wear it a lot.
When I got dressed up a couple weeks ago and actually wore pants and went out to dinner, I wore it.
Oh, you missed me talking about yesterday that my Lululemons are getting so nasty that I'm having to figure out a way to deodorize them because they just hold on to every scent. And so
have
they
we
told
not
me
had this discussion?
No.
Okay, first of all, anything you buy that's anti-wicking. In
Uh-huh.
fact, listen up, kids. You're not supposed to put Downy fabric softener or fabric sheets and any of that stuff because it messes up the fabric. It gums up the fabric and the ability to wick away the odor and the moisture.
Okay.
2, you're not supposed to put them in the dryer for the same reason. You'll ruin the fiber. So I hang dry everything that has wicking moisture technology in the fabric.
Yeah.
3, when you work out, don't throw those in the hamper and then throw a bunch of other shit on them. Hang them up in your closet and let them air dry. And then the next morning, put them in the hamper. So that's what makes that last so long. But I also saw on TikTok, I'll go find it for you. I can Google it, see if I can find it and put it in the feed. There's a way you can mix borax and a couple other things in your tub and immerse all of your stuff and wait an hour and you come back and the water is brown.
Oh, gross.
It gets all the stuff out
and
of
it's all your
it'll get
your
all that
junk
fabric softener
business.
out too.
Yes.
So if your athletic clothes are getting funky, those 3 things are why.
My issue
wash
was,
them.
I was like, if I'm smelling it, and I'm pretty nose blind to myself, I think, if I'm smelling it and it smells like crotch rot to me, and that's a good 3 feet from my nose because I'm so tall. I'm like, does that mean there's a radius around me also? Not that anyone, I'm only around children and Todd, and they all, I'm sure they don't even notice either. So
here, I'm going to put a video in here. It's called laundry stripping.
Y'all are hilarious. Had a hard day and came across this. Thanks for the dose of happy. Hey, well, welcome. I think you're a first-time commenter. Thank you.
Hello, Elizabeth. Here, I'm gonna put it in here. Laundry.
So, are you on a laptop or a special camera? Are you on your iPhone? What are you on? Your picture is so clear. Yes.
Oh, I'm on my iPhone. My iPhone 10. Yeah.
Just on her iPhone.
That's it.
Awesome. Okay, well, we've gone for 42 minutes, girl.
All right. Well, I'm posting the borax link now. It's a YouTube video of how you do it.
Well, I went to when I ran to the grocery store real quick yesterday. Hopefully this isn't, I didn't pick up a case of the COVID while I was there. I bought a case of COVID.
Case of wine, case of COVID, it's all the
same. They had the Arm & Hammer like sport detergent or something on sale. It was marked down from like 8 to like 2. I don't know if that means it doesn't work or if that just
it doesn't work. I'll tell you a brand that does work. Here, I'll drop this in the.
Linda said yesterday there's like Tide Sport or something like that.
There is, but I'm about to drop a better one in the. I use this on all my clothes every time I wash them, and it works. If you want to keep your, it's
Crystal,
called Hex.
Yeah. Crystal, you were so right. The kids' noses are at the wrong level. Oh my, yeah. If I'm walking around with crotch rot, the poor kids' noses are way too close for comfort.
It's called Hex Performance Laundry Detergent.
Smell like Cooper. It's not actually crotch rot. It is basically.
It's just a funky smell.
It's a funky. It just kind of is a slightly sour smell. And what it is that all of these moisture wicking fabrics do their job. They pull stuff off of your skin and into the fabric and hold them there. And so, but it creates bacteria, is what I was reading about. Bacteria, and then the bacteria starts to smell, and this is
so using Hex every time you wash your clothes,
and it's not unique to me at all. This is a very, very common problem with Lululemon and all of those types.
I've told so many people this, and that they don't realize that if you're not supposed to use fabric softener. You're not supposed to dry them in the dryer, and when you're done working out, hang them up until they've dried. They'll still smell,
Fucking A. So they're expensive to get, and you have to treat them like with kid gloves now.
Yeah.
But they look good. And they're so comfy. I love them.
Well, I know you love those pants.
Mine, yes.
Yes, because you were like, "What do I do? I need." I'm like, "You got to go to Lululemon and get the guy pants."
Yes. You're not a fan though, because
they don't make clothes for fat girls. So I'm like, it's not fan. I mean,
Well, I'm already pushing a large, extra large there, and I am not very large, so their sizing is not very generous. Let's just put it that way. So.
They were good for your height, though, right? Because you're tall.
Oh yeah, that was Todd. I got Todd a pair, and then they do free alterations. Is that the right word? Yes. And basically, they cut the bottom off, and they redo the hem, like a legitimate hem. It's not like when your mama would sew up the bottom of your pants and it was just a little circle of thread or whatever. They do the real thing. But poor thing, because Lulu, I don't know if you know, but Lululemon pants have a knee seam.
Yeah.
But the way they cut them now, that seam is like mid-calf on him. It looks...
Oh.
You don't really notice it. You don't really notice it, but I think if you own them, you do notice it. So
yeah, you would. That's interesting. Yeah, I just saw Crystal comment that Frey might take care of that. I don't know, Crystal, because not Frey, but I used to use a very similar smell good laundry detergent. You still get the funkiness and the smell of the laundry detergent. You really have to be using the detergent that cleans out the funkiness.
Yeah. So it's like rose smelling.
Yeah, it's like cinnamon smelling shit. After someone's taken a dump and they spray the air freshener, you're like, no, it's cinnamon shit.
It's just cinnamon.
Vanilla shit. Great. That's great.
Exactly. It's not actually killing it.
So if you use that Hex, once you get them clean, Cooper, if you buy that Hex and only use it with your athletic gear, it'll keep them clean.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. Poor Eric is saying I'm pushing extra large, and pretty much everything after COVID. I'm going to start doing all my shopping at the B. Arthur collection.
Hey, caftans.
Going to Georgia Tent and Awning, as Suzanne Sugarbaker said.
Did you get your caftan in that you ordered? Did you share it?
It said it's like 2 to 3 weeks to arrive. So I will share it with you. It's from a company called Caftco. All the A-gays are wearing it. Lance Bass, all these people. Billy Porter, all of them. So I was like, okay. My friend Craig, Corey Craig, who's a big famous DJ now. I've known him a million years. But he wears them a lot. I was like, okay, I'll try it out. I was a little drunk and just ordered it.
Well, tell him to hurry up and send them to you before the summer's over so you can be by the pool.
Well, we're not going to the pool. So our pool is hot as fuck right now. It is like outside it's hot. The water is like 90 degrees. It's not refreshing at all. It feels a little refreshing when you first get in because it's so hot outside that it is cooler. Yeah. But then once you're in it, you're like, well, this isn't very comfy.
It's going to be 105 tomorrow for the next 2 days. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not either. This poor house. Once it starts, so my house is really, really, really well insulated. It's like a cement house. It's probably like your building too. Like it's made out of cement. It's built in that time frame when they built a lot of stuff like that. So it stays cool in the summer really well. But after about 10 days, 2 weeks of 100-degree temps, that cement finally starts to warm up a little bit. Yeah. And then it
holds the heat
down. Yes, there is no cooling it down. And so we're getting to that point right now. You can probably see, I hate ceiling fans, but you could, I think in one of the reflections here, you can see the ceiling. I got the ceiling fan going above me. And so I don't know. I have a weird thing. I hate ceiling fans.
Well, luckily the temps are going to tank to like 93 next week. So
93, wow.
Yeah. So
that would be good.
I don't think we're done with the summer yet in August, but we'll see.
Technically, July is the hottest month in Dallas.
True.
Technically, when you count number of days at the high temperatures and all of that, and August is cooler technically because by the end of August we start to have our cool down, right? And so I'm hoping that we're over the hump here. We complain every year. We're supposed to have a La Nina year, I think, this year.
Yes, I tried to watch that on the weather last night and I fell asleep. What did they say?
I can't remember if it was L or La. I think it was La. And basically it means we're going to have a drier, warmer winter than expected. She just bought these beautiful coats. But we're not going to have like an ice event or anything like that, which you wouldn't wear.
We haven't had snow in forever.
Oh my God. So the last time it kind of snowed, we live on this golf course. And so it's really fun to go down the fairways and stuff because it's so hilly. But we didn't have a sled or anything because who has a fucking sled in Texas?
And so we
were using the top of a big Tupperware container.
Rubbermaid.
It Rubbermaid. It was not working. We kept flipping out of it and stuff because the snow wasn't deep enough. And so I went and I immediately bought some saucers, some plastic snow saucers off of Amazon, and I have not seen a flake of fucking snow since then.
What was it like almost 10 years ago when we had the big snow where we're like a week, we were all, at home and I was staying with some friends in Oak Cliff and we went to the top of the hill and we had one of those smaller 4-foot folding tables.
Yeah.
We folded one thing down and just held on to the other and rode that thing down. It was awesome.
I've seen people in canoes. I've seen people in their like lake inflatable things. The hard thing with that is though, sometimes sticks are sticking out of the snow. Because again, for those of you, if you're watching and you are not in Texas, I think most of you are in Texas. When we say snow, we're talking like maybe like half an inch, maybe an
Shuts
inch.
the state down.
But then it gets like this really hard crust on top because it gets warm enough in the day that it melts a little bit, and then it gets dark, and then it freezes, and so it turns to ice. And the ice is actually what is the most dangerous thing. So
yes, people from everywhere else make fun of Texas drivers in that kind of weather.
Well, we were doing PR. I don't know I can't remember if you worked for me yet or if this was before that, but we did Cirque du Soleil's PR throughout the state of Texas for a while. And I think it was before you and I met, but it was the year of that Super Bowl, that tragic Super Bowl where it was all iced over. I think that was that same year, right?
Yeah,
like 10
it was.
years ago. And Cirque du Soleil was here also during that same time. They were out in Frisco in the parking lot of the IKEA, right next to it at the
Dr. Pepper
baseball stadium. Yes.
Yeah.
And so they were out there, and we had one after another these ice storms come through, like just hardcore, where everything was getting canceled. And these people, I was getting calls from Quebec, like with these French people who are like, "Why are y'all such wimps? Why can't we open? Why blah 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 blah?" I'm like, because it's ice. It's ice. And so their general manager came down, I think, or something like that, and saw it. And he was like, "Oh, this is ice. Like even in Quebec, we don't drive, or Quebec, however they did, we don't drive in the ice. Like it's very different." So
yeah.
And the other thing is we don't have any equipment to deal with it. It makes absolutely no sense for our cities to own cold weather equipment if it's just easier to shut down for 2 days.
Yeah.
Just makes no sense.
We're not built for it. And
now we know we can shut down for COVID for fucking 19 and a half months and we're okay. I was talking about that with Todd earlier today, that when we got into this, we were in Florida at Rosemary Beach, or next to it in Inlet Beach, and it was all everything was starting to collapse around us. Yeah. And then we left and came back. And we thought, okay, this will just be a few weeks. We'll all work. It would be fun. We'll work from home. It'll be neat. It'll be fun. I remember saying to my staff, we may have to work from home until July. And everyone was like, oh my God, that's so long. Like work from July. And now here we are. Todd's work has already announced that they're not opening back up until January the 4th.
We don't even have a date. We've said 2021, but
you're probably the same, because Kerrie coincidentally works immediately across the DART rail tracks from Todd.
Yeah,
like buildings face each other.
Yeah,
and their issue is the DART ridership. Like so many people, because parking is so expensive down there, and so many people commute from the suburbs, is that it's not the office situation. It's more the mass transit situation and keeping people apart and all of that kind of stuff. I have a client I talked to yesterday. They tried to open up and it lasted a week, and then they sent everybody back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, they're seeing that happen. So they were definitely till 2021. I know that.
Yeah.
So we don't even have a date yet.
But let's send the kids back to school. I'm okay with it. Our school is so small that it is fine. But the ISD ones, I'm like, that's
you had like a big school. Yeah.
Yeah. So with no windows that open in these new buildings. Yeah. So, all righty. Well, we're at 53 minutes, so we probably should wrap this up. So everyone,
thanks for having me.
It was so good to see you. I've not seen your pretty face in forever.
Long time.
I've seen all the campsites, but not you. So, and y'all can see me. I look like a Picasso on screen. I just freeze, and you can still hear my voice or be. Michelle is asking. So Kerrie used to work for me. So Kerrie was originally my client, and then she left that job, and then was kind of in between things. And I had her work, and this was during the Great Recession. Had her work for me for just part time for probably 6 months, maybe a year. Was it a whole year? Wow, yeah.
Because we moved to offices, remember?
That's right. So Kerrie worked for me then, and then she got a full time, like big time job, the one that she had immediately before the one she currently has, and then we just became BFFs super fast. She knows a lot of shit about me. A lot of shit.
The other day, my shit Cooper says stuff came up back in your office days, and I was like, you were like, oh God, if Kerrie and Nina ever put together a book, I could never run for office. And I was like, A lot more has happened since those days.
Oh, seriously. Oh my God. What if you can't afford cake? That one. Inside joke, but yes. Okay. Anyway,
Do
okay,
you think
everyone.
more people eat cake? I don't know.
And of course, these things are said with absurdity.
Oh yeah,
I
just
know.
random things that Cooper wonders about aloud. It is just so we came up with hashtag shit Cooper says.
Yes. So thank goodness that will be blackmail material for later. Got to keep everyone on the right side of Koopa for that one. Okay, well, bye everyone. I love you. You are loved. It's important to know that. And thank you for watching this. I plowed through this one. I still got this raging headache. As soon as I click off with y'all, I'm gonna go put a cold compress or something on my eye. It's just like a pinpoint right there.
Go take a little nap.
Water and lay back down. Hopefully I can sleep through the night though. And just take care of yourself. I will see you tomorrow at 4:15 for another episode of Cooped Up. Talk to you later. Bye, Kerrie.
Bye, guys.
Bye.